The Amber Alert on Zahra Baker will be canceled today, and the decision to focus this investigation from a missing child or abducted child will turn into a homicide investigation.
That was 3 days after Zahra Baker's stepmom reported her missing. Elisa Baker charged with obstruction. There she is in pink for writing a phony ransom note. Will she ever reveal what happened to this poor child? Leslie, North Carolina, your question or thought, man?
Well, thank you for taking my call, Jane.
Thank you.
I want to know if the police have gone back to the home where this family was living before they moved here to this house. It's my understanding that the reporter said no one in the neighborhood had seen Zahra at this particular home.
Yeah, Mike Brooks, they had nobody aside from the mother, the stepmother, and the father had seen this child in a month.
A month. But what bothers me, Jane, is you've got her father, Adam Baker, who said, well, I hadn't seen her because she was reported missing on Saturday afternoon. Well, I haven't seen her since Thursday because of my work. But now they think it's been over a month. So I'm not buying anything he says, especially now, since law enforcement says he's not cooperating with them at all, where before they said he was cooperating fully, and we saw him at police headquarters with Chief Atkins from the Hickory Police Department when he was out there, with the chief. But now, apparently not.
You bring me to my big issue. Zahra's dad has gone from sympathetic to sinister in a matter of days. On Monday, we were all feeling his pain. Here he is on ABC.
I think just about every officer in Hickory came to the house. And I haven't really seen my wife since then. I just hope I can get my daughter back. I miss her so much.
Stacey Honowitz, shouldn't they make him take a polygraph?
Listen, Jane, I mean, the bottom line is when you have a father whose child is missing and then he decides not to cooperate, the average person says, what's going on? He's obviously trying to hide. Why wouldn't he want to do everything in his power to try to find this child or help in the investigation? So if that's what they need to try to get him to speak, to try to get him to talk, to try to get him to come forward with some information, then they might just ask him to do that. What I find fascinating in this case is that every witness, every neighbor has no problem going on national television and telling a reporter that they saw that she was injured and hurt and being beaten, yet nobody bothered to call DCF. Now they're coming forward and saying, we saw this happening. Well, why didn't you come forward before and say something? And that's the real troubling aspect, I mean, amongst the other things with this case, I think.
It's a cautionary tale. Now, according to a search warrant, police seized drug paraphernalia from the Baker's family home. And Tara, our reporter, dropped this bombshell right here on Issues last night. Check this out.
Family members said that Lisa Baker, the stepmother, was a well-known drug dealer. She was selling drugs to members of the family.
Howard Samuels, you're the founder and CEO of the Hills Treatment Center. Hypothetically, if somebody's using and or selling drugs, does that make them more likely to become violent?
Oh, without question, Jane. I mean, whenever you have somebody who's so psychologically unstable, you're always going to find drugs and alcohol to an extreme degree. And I have to also say with your other panelists that I have to totally agree. What's so troubling is that the family, the neighbors did nothing. And that's the whole issue here, is that, when are families going to wake up and start to get involved and protect the little children that drug addicts or alcoholics are harming?
Well, Jane, if what we heard,
tragic, Jane.
If what we heard last night is
100%.
true about her dealing drugs to family and friends, they're not going to call the police because that would bring heat on them.
You're so right. Okay, thank you, fantastic panel. And Nancy Grace will talk to stepmom Elisa Baker's son. A wild story up next.